honored to have Doug and his group here. And I know Doug, he was a teacher. Group, I don't know the rest, I'm sorry.
It's okay, we'll fill it in.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
This is Dustin.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Doug.
Hi.
So I know some of you because some of you are in the Antioch LGBT specialization, and some of you I don't know. Welcome. First, let me kind of start. I wanted to provide some introductory comments, but let me start by saying that the main thing that I think is important about what I'm going to talk about, and I think what the other guys are going to talk about, is the power of being real as a homosexual person, as a gay person, and just how important that is, especially in this particular day and age where there's so much violence and issues going on. Just what does it really mean to be gay, and why that is so important to try to be present with that. And I am wanting to watch out for my tendency in trying to be gay to get really defensive and blocked. And when I get anxious, I'm going to go into my thinking and just not be full of arrows and not be the homosexual that I want to be. So I just wanted to name that shadow problem, and I'll discuss what I mean by shadow problem in a moment if I can follow my train of thought. And also that I was so anxious about today for no reason other than I think it just provokes my childhood trauma around growing up gay in a heteronormative, lower middle class Bronx, really, really uncivilized world. I mean, it's a joke, but it's really, really, I mean, I'll say maybe a little bit more of that. I re-experienced some of the pain about being that little gay kid. So I didn't sleep so good last night, and I was the one who was going to give the introductory comments, and then I got inflated about how great it was going to be, then I got really... So anyway, this is all by way of saying that we are here, all of us are members of the Institute for Contemporary Uranian...
Not contemporary anymore.
Oh, I meditated so much on not saying the word contemporary, and I acted out. I'm smiling, acted out bad. For the Institute for Uranian Psychoanalysis.
We axed the contemporary for all sorts of reasons. But
for all sorts of reasons that are really interesting, but we'll save that for later.
Esoteric.
Esoteric reasons.
Well,
we don't want to we don't want to be sounding postmodern. We want to sound homosexual. So some of you may appreciate that.
Postmodern.
We're postmodern. So we're and by the way, that's my introduction. Chris and I were discussing that Chris was going to interrupt me.
Oh no.
And then I was going. This is Chris, by the way. Chris Kilbourne is one of the founding members. That was Roger. Roger just left. Is that a comment on how things are going? He just left without making a process comment.
He's probably getting more chairs.
Oh, he's getting more chairs. Oh. And this is Dustin Kerrone, who's also a founding member. Yeah, I was paranoid about where you were leaving. He was getting more chairs because there were more people. So, and the Institute for Uranian Psychoanalysis is the first institute in the world devoted to the project of deepening homosexual self-realization. That never has happened before. And one of the people who actually was visionary behind these ideas over the course of many decades, his name is Mitch Walker. We have sort of ties, I guess all of us do, to the origins of the gay liberation movement, because the gay liberation movement was actually founded in Los Angeles by Harry Hay, the Managing Society, in 1950. In a way, we're all kind of children of Harry by sitting here and thinking about these things and wanting to be present for ourselves and our clients in an LGBTQ affirmative way. And that way that makes us activists. We want to talk to each of you, or I want to talk to you about yeah, we're therapists probably for the most part, but I think the most interesting thing that I want to share is what does it mean to be part of historic gay liberation? And what does that invite us to consider as activists who are changing history just by the act of being present here today and coming out and being LGBTQ or allies. There's also some allies in the room. So Mitch was an early founder of these ideas over the course of 4 decades, co-founded the Radical Fairy movement with Harry Hay in 1979, and then broke from Harry because the radical fairies, through great struggle, Mitch learned, were actually not interested in being psychological or owning their shadow or their dark side or whatever it was. So he broke from them and founded Tree Roots. And Tree Roots, all of us have been involved in Tree Roots, was a nonprofit organization. And from Tree Roots blossomed the Institute, which is actually working as an institute now. We have training programs where there's a foundational level and an advanced level and a senior level. And we've actually graduated our first group of advanced trainees onto senior for those guys who are really, really working hard at trying to get more real and present and whole and integrated about what does it mean to be a homosexual-centered psychological activist. So that's kind of, in a way, by way of an introduction about some of the ideas that we represent and what we're here to do, to talk to you about, to get you, see if we can inspire you about what that means to you, whether you're gay or lesbian or whatever identity you are. There's hopefully some way that, even though we were talking about white and gay men, there is hopefully a way that this can be relevant for people all struggling with heteronormativity and the desire to connect with their own eros as a doorway into becoming more whole and more integrated. Let me just take a breath because I could feel that I'm okay, but I think I'm moving into like a non-related professorial mode. So let me just, I could feel that happening, and you're all being so like, and some of you know are trained by me how to do this, to listen and look like you're very happy with me, but you secretly might be saying, "That Doug, he's so narcissistic," or he's boring, or what about me? Because there's, in a way, we're evoking what does it mean to come out more vis-a-vis to me. So here you are sitting here and taking notes, but this is really an invitation for all of us to be activists and to connect with what does it feel like just to be here.
There's a chair over here, sir.
This one right there.
You have a choice.
So one way we thought to, I'm going to try to watch out for that preface, okay? I'm going to just, I'm yelling, not just at the ether, but I'm yelling, just to give you a little sense of what I'm yelling at. In my mind, I can see my mommy and my daddy in the Bronx. Both of them are smoking cigarettes and are talking about Jewish, biological, non-interesting things, and I'm sitting there as the eldest, listening and hating what they're talking about, and it's like, our apartment is maybe the size of this room. I grew up in for years. It was awful! And I'm imagining, using my imagination to imagine that that's who I'm performing for, not you guys. I need to constantly be intervening on that story, this type of gay-centered inner work, in order to attempt to be more authentic and to be more messy and be more myself. That's the most important thing. The ideas are important, but only as a way to connect with the moment-by-moment challenge of being a true person, a true gay person. Being gay as a metaphor for coming out as a human being. So this book, we thought that we would focus our comments on this book. I believe each of you has a copy of it, which is Gay Liberation of the Psychological Crossroads, a commentary on the future of homosexual ideology.
Any extra people?
Yeah. Oh, I think we have some. Hi, Mary.
Are we supposed to read this before class?
Lisa, you got the assignment. You're just being a trickster. You probably memorized it.
Some of us were just in a prior class that we had here in regards to, and I'm looking through the syllabus and some of the stuff, and it seems that when we speak of liberation, and we speak of anyone that's been marginalized in this country, we all have this, I think, to be able to learn from others as well as not just what we might be struggling with ourselves. And some of the literature is very white and it's not inclusive of other struggles of people who would be considered to be underneath that queer type of thing. And I think we've seen this especially, that we can be so divisive. Remember, if you can go back to 2008, in the sense of liberation,
Sure.
it didn't pass because black people didn't do it.
Sure.
So was it them, or was it the Mormons? You know what I mean? We're so divisive.
Well, I think
Rather
that
than being inclusive.
I think one of the challenges about talking about this material that we're going to talk about is going to provoke a lot of your questions, and because I think it doesn't necessarily name those cultural diversity issues up front, perhaps in a way that hopefully that can continue to happen as we progress. I want to say, and I hope this doesn't sound also like me being defensive, if it is, let me know, but I think that there's a way that we're talking about gay liberation as something